Heidi Fang for MMA Fight Corner with UFC middleweight Michael Bisping, who's fighting October 26th in the main event at UFC Fight Night 30 in Manchester, England. Michael, tell us how honored you feel to get back in front of the home crowd there in England for this fight.
Yeah, I really can't wait. I enjoy being an international fighter for the UFC, but obviously it's always nice to fight in front of your home crowd. I haven't done that for several years. I haven't fought in in Manchester for 4 years. And, the support of the British people has really defined my career in some ways. So, I'm really, really excited to go back. I'm proud to be main event. I've got a tough opponent in Mark Munoz. It's going to be a fantastic event. I can't wait.
You mentioned the last time you fought there. That last time you were there, you got Fight of the Night honors. It was a second round TKO of Dennis King, I believe. Would you say that having that crowd backing you just really gets you fired up?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm used to being the away fighter. Obviously, I fight in America a lot, so they cheer for their own guys, and they should do that. So a lot of the time, I get booed. So I'm used to blocking that out. But certainly, when the crowd are as vocal and positive on your side, it certainly does help. Sorry, three times I've fought for the UFC in England. I've won Fight of the Night, so I think it certainly does help. I'm going to look to channel that energy and turn it into something positive.
Yeah. It's interesting. You say positive, but yeah, a lot of the things going on with this fight already, ahead of it, you and Mark Munoz have traded a lot of verbal jabs, you could say. I don't know who struck first, but I wanted to know your
Yeah.
response to to him calling,
Well,
saying,
let me stop you right there, Heidi, and let me just say this. We may have exchanged verbal jabs, but I'll tell you one thing. We won't be exchanging physical jabs on the night. Verbal jabs are about as good as he's going to get from Mark Munoz because the guy couldn't burst an egg. He couldn't pop a wet balloon. Listen, the only thing that's going to get popped is his face. So, he's going to look to turn this into a wrestling match. I'm going back to England to give them a good old-fashioned fist fight, which is what the hard-working people are paying to see. Mark Munoz is coming in. He's no doubt going to, he's going to quote some self-help book. He's going to be talking about Jesus and stuff like that. People aren't interested in that. They want to see a fight. Yeah, for me, that's what you're going to get. From Mark Munoz, his best chances of boring everybody in the arena, including me, to sleep with the bullshit that comes out of his mouth. Me, I'm looking to kick his ass as soon as that bell starts, and I will prevail. Believe you me.
and what is your response to him saying that you have pillow fists?
Yeah, it's the most unoriginal. Obviously, he spent a lot of time trawling the underground, looking for compliments about himself. He trawls the underground looking for people to say how good Mark Munoz is. I couldn't care less what they say on forums. That's what some idiots online like to say, and he thought he'd regurgitate it, which he did. He was very unoriginal. I certainly don't have pillows for fists. Ask any of my foreign opponents. Ask any former opponents. They'll all, I'm sure, gladly tell you that I don't have pillows for fists. And if Mark Munoz thinks that, then he can have one of those pillows after I knock him out.
You mentioned also that you feel that he'll turn this into a WrestleMania wrestling match. Is there any part of you that believes that he'll try to stand and trade with you?
Listen, he's going to shoot from the bell. As soon as that bell goes, he's going to try and stand. And listen, he's worked with Thai boxers. He's worked with the boxing coaches, I'm sure. They all stand there down at Range Training Centre and think they're the shit. And they'll pat each other on the back and say, good job, we're really good. Well, as soon as that cage door shuts, the fight starts, you're going to realise that it's not sparring. He's in there with one of the best in the world and he's getting his ass kicked. As soon as that starts, then he's going to go back to what he always does, which is wrestling and boring everybody to death. And Donkey Kong, don't even get me started on Donkey Kong. My God, this is mixed martial arts. I refuse to lose, and I refuse to even put myself in the same sentence as somebody that refers to their style as Donkey Kong. I'm a mixed martial artist, and that shall prevail on the night. And he can save the Donkey Kong for the thugs in his gym.
I love what you guys are doing here. And for your part, you're really trying to exploit his mental weakness, being that after his loss to Weidman, he had gone through this period of depression. Do you see yourself already gaining like a psychological edge with the talk that's going on before this fight?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it was a bit pathetic, really, wasn't it? He was never diagnosed as having depression. Hey, listen, I'm not insensitive to people. I realise that depression is a real sickness and a real disease, so I'm not knocking anybody with that. I'm quick to point that out. But my point is that Munoz was never diagnosed with depression. He wasn't taking antidepressants. He lost a fight. He ate too much food and got fat. And then he wanted everybody to feel sorry for him. Well, I'm sorry. Go somewhere else with your sob story. I've got enough problems in my own life. I don't need yours. Listen, you're able to get into the UFC. You're able to fight there and earn a living. A lot of people would give their right arm to be in that position. So don't expect people to feel sorry for you just because you lost a fight and you ate too much. That's the way it goes. Somebody wins, somebody loses. When you win, you get the glory. When you lose, you take it like a man, dust yourself off and go again. You don't expect everybody to feel sorry for you because you can't control yourself when it comes to the buffet.
If you can get this win over him, do you feel that this win will put you back in that race for title contention? I mean, you were right there. You had that loss to Vitor Belfort, but you came right back with the win over Belcher. Where do you see yourself fitting in the landscape of the division right now?
Well, when I get the win over Munoz, I will still be in the place I've always been, which is always in title contention. I'm one of the best in the world, and it's simple as that. It's period. I might be coming across as a bit cocky right now, but it's just where my head's at right now. Simple as that. I'll be the same place now as I was before, right at the top of the pile, ready to take the title.
Awesome. And, I remember we had you on the show a while back before Weidman became the middleweight champion. And you had some choice words about him, like he was as interesting as watching paint dry, you had said of his fight. So I was curious
Yeah.
what your thoughts were of him becoming the UFC middleweight champion. And how do you see that rematch going between him and Silva?
I think it's absolutely amazing that Chris Weidman is now the middleweight champion. I really do, because he's going to make my job so much easier. I think Weidman wins the rematch. I think Weidman wins the rematch by boring everybody to death and doing what Mark Munoz does and cuddling some Anderson to death. And then I beat Munoz and I take the title off Weidman. He's a hell of a fighter. And he really is, and good for him. I congratulate him on his performance. He had a great first round, and he made Anderson pay the price in the second round. In terms of me taking the belt, stylistically, Weidman's a better matchup for me. I'm not going to lie. So I will be rooting for him in that matchup. And when I take care of Munoz, which I fully intend on doing, and putting an exclamation mark on it, I'll be happy to face Weidman and take that title. I believe.